Hello, it's me again, Paul from New Mexico with another rant. The Angry Bear with Royal Resistance. What I'm about to talk about today is just, it's almost hilarious. I just heard that Trump just announced that he is going to have them build a Trump-class battleship that's supposed to be the biggest and baddest ever built. He actually says biggest and baddest ever built in the world. You gotta hear this.
As Commander-in-Chief, it's my great honor to announce that I have approved a plan for the Navy to begin the construction of two brand new, very large, the largest we've ever built, battleships. You know, you used to build the Iowa, the Missouri, the Wisconsin, the Alabama, many others. We had big battleships. These are bigger.
No, they're not bigger. The proposed Trump class is only a 35,000 ton displacement. The Missouri was 58,000 ton. It makes the Trump class, it dwarfs the Trump class. The Trump class looks like a rowboat compared to the Missouri.
But they will have 100 times there'll be 100 times the force, the power, and there's never been anything like these ships. These have been under design consideration for a long time, and it started with me in my first term, because I said, why aren't we doing battleships like we used to? And these are the best in the world. They'll be the fastest, the biggest, and by far 100 times more powerful than any battleship ever built. So if you look,
the only reason they may be more powerful, which I'll give them that one, is because of the new technology used for weaponry. But they are not bigger. They are not faster. He still has a problem realizing that this is not 6 inches.
look at the Iowa, the Missouri, Wisconsin, Alabama, and others, but they were similar in size, some a little bit bigger than the others, but if you take the biggest one, it's 100 times more powerful. They're longer by a little bit, but and they're bigger ships, but they hold much more. They use the word lethality. Battleships are the largest, sturdiest, and most heavily armed vessel built specifically for naval combat, while America has built many.
Whoa. Navy battleships were built for naval combat. Who would have thunk it?
New warships over the years, they've tended to be smaller and much smaller, and not conducive to where we are and where we're going, and peace through strength. But including, we've been building aircraft carriers. We're going to be upping that also. We're going to be going to a superior aircraft. We have the Ford class. We're going to be upping that to a different class of aircraft carrier. And we haven't built a battleship since 1994. These cutting-edge vessels will be some of the most lethal surface warfare ships. It will be actually the most ever built other than our submarines. We have submarines which will have, in many ways, even more lethality, and we have many of them under construction. Each one of these will be the largest battleship in the history of our country, the largest battleship in the history of the world ever built.
You get that? The largest battleship in the history of the world ever built. But yet, they're a rowboat in size compared to the Missouri and even the Montana. The SS Montana was 70,000 tons.
And again, it's 100 times more powerful than the previous Iowa class, it's called. Those are the big ones that you'd see on a show. Victory at Sea. I don't know if anyone's seen Victory at Sea, but it was a classic. They'll help maintain American military supremacy, revive the American shipbuilding industry, and inspire fear in America's enemies all over the world. We want respect. We're going to have it. We already have it. We're more respected now than we ever were.
No, we're not. We're a freaking laughingstock because of this idiot right here talking about this being 6 inches.
A year and a half ago, they laughed at us. Now they respect us again at levels that they've never respected us. We envision that these two ships, we're talking about 10, but we're going to start with 2, and we're going to quickly morph into 10, and ultimately we think it's...
Did you know 2 can morph into 10? I never knew that. Now, we could start with 2 and we add more and it becomes 10, but it doesn't morph into 10.
It's going to be anywhere from 20 to 25 of these, but we're starting with the first 2 immediately, and we're going to then be very quickly involved with, I think, we're going to do another 8, and then we're going to ultimately and pretty quickly have a total of about 20 to 25. We'll make that determination.
Yep, he's a moron. Just to show you that what I'm talking about, this is the Trump class. Length 840 to 880 feet. Beam, that's how wide it is, 105 to 115 feet. A draft of 24 to 30 feet. That's how low it sits in the water. Displacement, greater than 35,000 tons, but not by much. Speed, 30 plus knots. Crew, 650 to 850 crewmen. Class size, they're going to have 20 to 25 ships. Well, at least they think they are. The main battery is a surface launch cruise missile, which nuclear. 12 cells CPS, 128 cells MK41 VLS, or whatever that is. I don't know much about weaponry, so I don't know what all these abbreviations are. Secondary battery, 132 MJ railgun, 2 5-inch guns, and 2 300 kilowatt or 2 600 kilowatt lasers. Defensive battery, 2 ram launchers, 4 30 millimeter guns, 4 Odin lasers, and 2 Courier UXS systems. I don't know exactly what that means. Now yes, those weaponry is a lot more technological and more deadly than what we had back in WW2. But that's not the point. The point is, he says this thing is freaking the biggest and baddest ship ever built in the world history. Let us look at the Missouris. Length 887 feet and 3 inches. Beam 108 feet. It's a little bit narrower. Displacement 57,540 tons. Speed 32.5 knots. That is basically the same speed as the Trump class. So even the Trump class ain't even faster. Propulsion steam turbines with 4 shafts. That means it's got 4 props. A crew of 2,700. That was during WW2. It was reduced later. Armor up to 19.5 inches on turrets, 12.1 inches on the belt. The main battery. 9 16-inch Mark 7 guns in 3 triple turrets, firing 2,700-pound shells up to 23 miles. The secondary batteries. 12 5-inch 38 caliber dual-purpose guns in 6 twin mounts used for surface and anti-aircraft. Missiles modernized up to 32 Tomahawks, land attack and anti-ship missiles, and 16 Harpoon anti-ship missiles. Close-in defense. 4 Phalanx 20mm Gatling guns for missile defense. Originally, it had numerous 40mm Boffers and 20mm Oerlikon anti-aircraft guns as well. Now those missiles can also be nuclear tipped on the Missouri. Now, you're telling me that the Trump class battleship is supposed to be bigger and better and faster than the Missouri or the Iowa or the Wisconsin? Like I said, the Montana was over 70,000 tons displacement. So no, the Trump class ships are not bigger than anything ever built in the world. He's a moron. Well, thanks for listening. I will let you see me in the next one. And remember, resistance is not futile.